and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today I said that I was going to come back after the other cards that we did using the Perfectly Played, which is this absolutely gorgeous stamp set with all of these great sentiments on there and 4 different tree images, some pine cones, and oh, it's lovely. And we've got the coordinating punch, so you can punch out all of the trees, and it's brilliant. The designer series paper that goes with it is this 6x6 wrapped in plaid. And we were looking through this because there are some absolutely gorgeous patterns and things in here. You've got one side which has got lovely sort of images and things on there like that. I love these ones. And then on the other side you've got what we would call in the UK tartan, and its speciality because it's got gold, as you can see, gold lines running through it, and you've got lots of lovely different coloured tartans. Beautiful for cards. But going through this, there is one sheet of, let me put these just out of the way, one sheet of, well, 4 sheets of them, of these Christmas trees. And the punch punches them out absolutely perfectly. So you can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards with whole ones, and you've got a couple of half ones as well, and we're not going to waste those, we're going to use them. Now, when I was looking at this, I looked at the background and it's got this lovely sort of little blue specks on, and if you go through the paper, there is one that matches exactly. So I thought we would use both of these, just these 2 sheets, and we would make, I'm going to make 8. You can make more than that, but I'll tell you why we're going to make 8. Because if we cut this sheet down into 2" by 2" squares, so as it's 6 inches, just cut it into 2" strips and then cut it down into 2" squares, you are going to get 9 out of this one sheet. So you can make 9 cards and take 9 of these images, and that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to put this out of the way because I've done some of the prep work beforehand, because otherwise I'd be here forever. So I've punched them out, and as you can see, you have absolutely perfectly, so simple, no stamping required. And you can see there are a couple of pieces. There's this one, which was right on the edge, so we've got a little piece missing on there, and then this one was a half piece. But if you put them together like that, you can put 2 trees together and you wouldn't even know that there was a piece missing. And again, on this one, there's only a little bit out of there, so you can put them like that. So you can use every tiny weeny little piece that's in there and make it go even further. So we've cut those out. I'm not going to make full cards today. I'm going to make 3x3s, because I think particularly at Christmas time, 3" by 3" note cards, we have these lovely, they are called, let's see if they've got the actual name on it, envelope square minis in Whisper White, and they are about 3 1/4. They say 3 1/8, but they're about 3 1/4. And you've got these lovely little envelopes all ready to go. So they make perfect little 3x3 note cards. You can, however, just cut them down, and instead of using them as note cards, you can use them as little tags. So again, Christmas time, you can never have enough little sort of hanging tags and things like that. They're great as well if you've got people who are asking you to do lots of cards. So I'm doing this in Whisper White only because I have 12 by 12 Whisper White, because I use that sometimes for box making and things like that. And you can, out of one sheet of 12 by 12, you can get 6 note cards cut. So you literally just cut them 6 inches by 3 inches and score it in half at 3 inches, and that gives you your note card. So we've got those ready to go. I have cut the little, get those pieces, I've cut that designer series paper down into the squares. So we've got 9 of those ready to go. I have then used, I use it all the time because it's absolutely perfect for lots of things, the stitch shaped framelit dies. Now these, they've been around a while, but they are real go-tos. You've got circles, you've got ovals, and you've got squares. Now I have used the largest square, and I've used the second one down. So I've used those 2 squares. This one is for, right, so this was cut at 2 inches by 2 inches in there. I've then cut a frame in cardstock, and that's in the, as I say, the second one down. And I've then cut some borders in the largest size. Okay, so we need a few of those, and depending how many cards you make, you can do 6, you can do 8. 8 would work perfectly, so that you make 8 out of the one sheet of the 12 by 12 Whisper White. Okay, so we're going to start a bit of an assembly line. I'm using in the the Perfectly Plaid. I wanted something to go across the card, so this is a little bit too big, but the ho 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 is going to be absolutely perfect. You could do May This Special Season Be Wrapped in Love and Joy, but I thought ho 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 was quite fun. It would go then for sort of any age group, really. So let's get some of these pieces out. I have cut in the squares some shaded spruce, which goes with this. I've cut some Night of Navy, which goes with that. And I've cut some cherry cobbler because I wanted to have 3 different colour and tones, and those are really quite sort of Christmassy. I've then taken on the next one up. So for the borders, I've taken some of our different, this is glimmer paper. We've got silver foil, we've got gold foil. So I've cut those just to make a pretty border. You could just cut them in white if you wanted to. You could cut them in the coordinated cardstock. It's entirely up to you. So let's sort of get making with some of these. We need to, first of all, do a little bit of building. So on these, and I'm just going to do one of each one, because you can then see how I work in a bit of a production line. And so on these, I'm going to put these pieces, which are 2 by 2. This gives us an 1/8 of an inch border, which is rather good. So, and I thought it was quite clever that the actual pattern gave this this little sort of snowflakey piece on, and that's what they put it with. So I thought, right, let's go with what they've put it with in the designer series paper. Now this will go literally just with an 1/8 of an inch border around there. So just put those down, and as I say, we're going to do 3 at a time. If you were doing all 6 of them, you'd do 6 at a time or 8 at a time, and just literally work it at like a little bit of a production line. It then becomes quite quick to make lots of cards, lots of notelets. These obviously could go as toppers just on the front of a card if you wanted to, but I thought I would do something that was a little bit different today and do them in note in the little 3 by 3s to go with the envelopes. Again, we can make a nice little box or something with them. So we've got those 3. I can put those sort of out of the way. Now we're going to take our trees, and no, we're not. We're actually going to take the card piece. Let's do this bit first. So let's take 3 of these. So we've got 3 of these ones. I'm going to just fold them along here. So you've got your nice little 3 by 3s. So we'll have 3 of those. 2, 3. I quite like making bulk cards at Christmas and things, because as I say, if you make a head start now, and I always say this every year, if you make a head start early, by the time it comes to Christmas, you've got most of the things done and organised. However, what normally happens with me is I make a whole pile of things, and then I have family who turn around and say, oh, Mum, can I have that one? Can I have that one? Can I use that one? Can you make me some of those? And I end up making them for everybody else, and then I'm in a rush at the end, just before Christmas anyway. Okay, so we've got these three. Now, I am going to then put one of these on the centre. So we're going to have the glimmer paper. And the nice thing about all of our dies is they do cut everything absolutely perfectly. I don't have a problem in cutting any material at all, apart from putting glue all over my desk. Wasn't very good, was it? Butterfingers today. So we're going to put this one in the centre. And as I say, I have used the Whisper White. You could use it in coloured cardstock, but I just haven't got any 12 by 12s in the coloured cardstock at the moment. So I thought, right, the white will work perfect, or the Whisper White will work perfectly. And I thought with a bit of sparkle on it, it'll just make it look a little bit prettier. So we'll put this one on here. And again, you can see it goes relatively quickly. So that's our silver one. Oh, apart from it sticking on there with my bits of glue. And then we'll put our gold one on. Oh, that didn't look as if it was straight, did it? No. Slid off as I was doing it because it's stuck on there. Right, let's get this straight. I get a real shine with my lights, and then it is almost impossible to get things in where I want them. And once you've done it once, you tend to get cockeyed again. That's better. Right, then we'll do this one, which is the gold one. And you can use whatever you want, really. I'm just sort of, as always, I come on and try and give you some ideas. Then it's up to you to go away and play with it and put your own flair on it. I think that's the lovely thing about crafting. We all have our own styles and our own flairs, and we take things the way we want. Okay, right, now I'm going to put these little pieces on over the top. So this is the cherry cobbler one. And I will need to put just a little bit of extra glue on here, because glimmer paper tends to, because it's got all the glitter on it, it tends to absorb the glue quite a lot. So if you just put it down where you want it, hold it down, and then what I tend to do is to grab a block, put the block on there, and then we'll just move it out of the way for a minute so it allows it to just glue down on there. So we can put this one on here, the gold one. I've done a few here, so I just want to keep the same colours. The gold one, I was going to have the green. Oh. There we are, that's the gold one. Yes, I thought I'd do a really nice sort of blingy one this time. Sometimes sometimes I like lots of bling, and sometimes I like them to be quite sort of plain. So again, depending how you build it up and what you use, depends whether you have it really fancy or not. And I just fancied one with some bling on it this time, and for it to be really sort of bright and sparkly. So I'll just put this one down in on here. And again, wet glue does take a few seconds to go off, so I'm just going to put that on there like that. Now, with the punch, what I've done as well is to take, oops, throwing my glue away. I have a little pot that I stand my glue in. So I have cut with the punch, and this is why the punch is so versatile. I have cut a gold and a silver and a glimmer paper tree to go into the centerpiece as well. So this one should be nicely stuck on there now, which it has. So this one we are going to put the glimmer paper tree first, and size wise it will work if you put it down at the bottom and then with this branch up on that edge, it then fits literally just to the top of the red cherry cobbler square. Then we're going to take the tree that we've cut out and we're just going to glue that one on top. And this one goes so that this piece will go literally at the other side, so that then you can get it as balanced as you can, so the trees sort of sit literally in the center. And again, the glimmer paper, just hold it down just for a little bit longer than you would, because as I say, glimmer paper is, because it's sort of got a rough surface, it does take a little bit longer for the glue to actually adhere. Not a huge amount, but just a little bit longer. So I'm going to put this on here again, just as a little bit of weight, move it out of the side, and then we'll do the next one. So we've got silver with silver tree. Put that one down in here, and again line it up so that the tree goes to that side and up to the top. And then take our next little tree. So you can see you can make a whole series of cards, and you're literally just using 2 sheets of this lovely designer series paper. So your paper can last a long time. Just use it for different things. You know, I don't know how many cards you can make out of one 6x6 pack. Probably hundreds. I wouldn't like to sort of count them all. Right, that's that one. But I would seriously think that you can probably make hundreds of cards out of one sheet. And it's the quality that I like. You know, the patterns are always beautifully printed and look so realistic. And they're a nice heavy weight as well. It's one of the things that attracted me to Stampin' Up! In the first place, was the quality. I'm somebody who's bought, you know, stamps from all sorts of different companies, and I'd been crafting for a little while, and I bought the ones that were on the magazines and things, and I was like, oh, these are really good. And then, as I say, about 7 years ago now, I was introduced to Stampin' Up! By a friend, and I was just like, hold on a minute, there's a real big difference between the quality of the things I've been using, and it means that your projects go up to the next level as well, because if you're using really good quality stuff, you don't have to be the greatest crafter in the world, because the products actually sort of speak for themselves. Okay, right, so we've done all 3 of those ones. And as you can see, it didn't take us very long at all. That one will have now glued down. So we've got 3 different ones on there. And now it's about decorating them up. So there's my little dog making noises as normal. So I have taken the ho ho ho, which I was telling you about, and I've cut one in the blue, one in the red, and one in the gold. Sorry, one in the green. So we're just going to literally put those across the front, and let's grab my glue again, and they will make, as I say, very quick, very simple, but very effective looking looking cards. So I'm lining this up just with the edge and just putting it across. And again, just holding it down a second because it's on the glimmer paper on that one. So that's that one. Need to just hold it. Let's put my little weight on again. Little green one on here. Like that. And along the centre like that. And then this one, it's quite good because the words ho 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 literally fit from one side to the other with just a little banner cut at one edge, so that it works really well. So I'm taking this literally just to the edge of where the blue is, so I can then just take it across, and then the little point of the banner goes across on the other side, and that's literally just cut just bigger than the ho ho ho. Okay, so we've got that one. That needs just to have a little bit of a poke down on there. So we now have 3 of those, which I think are really pretty. And you could take just sort of different ideas to finish it off. You could add a, instead of doing the ho ho ho, you could take the lovely Merry Christmas ribbon. I always call it Merry Christmas ribbon. I don't know what it's called. Very vanilla and copper ribbon. And it's called Classic Weave ribbon. But for me, it's Merry Christmas ribbon, which is absolutely lovely. Now, you could have taken that on the gold, and you could have put that across like that, and then just tucked it in at the sides on the gold piece, and just have that across as a different look. You could take, and I did one, now where have I put it? Here it is. You can take one of these, are absolutely gorgeous, these sweet little things, little jingle bells, and they come in green, red and gold. So you can put your red with your red, you can put your green with your green, and maybe the gold, and change that over for gold instead of silver on there, and then just put it in a little bow, and then you can just attach that in the corner. Now, if you're going to be putting them into envelopes and things, probably not a good idea for this, because it's not going to fit in the envelope. However, if you were making it into a tag, just put the little bell on it, and you've got a lovely little ring on there. You could put some embellishments of whatever you want on there. You could put little bits of ribbon. You can put some more twinklies. But I've done another 3 that I did before I came on. So you can see you've got really lovely, pretty, quick, easy little cards to do, just using that one sheet of designer series paper. And then with the envelopes, they fit in. Let me just... they fit beautifully into your little envelope. So let's just tuck that in. You have to be a little bit cautious. I should have done it the other way around, actually, because just be careful of your little embellishments that they don't sort of pop hanging over there. But you can see they fit absolutely perfectly. As I say, put them all in a little box. And you've got a really lovely, sweet, easy project to do for Christmas. And as I say, there's 6 here, but I've still got 3 more to do here. So as I say, that gives you 9 just out of that one sheet of, or the 2 sheets of that designer series paper. And so simple, because you just punch it out. So hope you enjoyed those today. Thank you so much for watching me. Do look forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.